little artists. Today we're going to work on the spring flower project that I have about half done here. So I wanted to show you what it's going to look like when you're completed, halfway through, and then from the start. So we're going to get started right away. The first thing we're going to do for this awesome spring flower daisy project is we are going to cut out some stems for our project. So in order to get started, the materials you're going to need is some scissors. You're going to need glue stick or glue, a marker or pen to draw with, or a pencil, and something to trace around that's circular. So a cup or anything that you can find in your house. Okay, so first we're going to cut out a stem shape, and that's super easy because all you need to do on a green piece of paper is you just want to cut along the edge of your paper, however wide you want your stem to be. So you could make yours smaller if you're working on a smaller paper, or larger. But I'm just going to cut along the edge, and I have a nice long skinny rectangle shape. Okay, then I am going to glue that down to my paper over here because this is my third flower I'm creating. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue all along my stem. Make sure you have enough glue to make it stick. Okay, once that's good, then you're going to flip it and stick it. Okay, flip it, stick it, and press it right onto your paper. Okay, now our flowers are going to need some leaves along the bottom. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a leaf shape on a green piece of paper. So a leaf shape is kind of like a squashed circle that's pointed on the ends. So you can start at the bottom of your paper, or that's going to look like the top of the paper for you. So I'm going to come up and around, curve my line, end, then make it pointed, and do the same thing on the other side, and come back to the bottom. Okay, there is my leaf shape. Now I'm going to cut out my leaf shape. Remember, when you're using scissors, when you're cutting something rounded, take little goldfish bites. That's going to help you make a nice curved line. Okay, turn your paper, come down the other side, and cut a nice curved leaf shape. Okay, then next thing we're going to do to this leaf is we're going to fold it in the middle so it looks more three-dimensional like it does on these leaves over here. So I'm going to fold it right down the center, just like that. So now I have like the middle of the leaf. Now when I glue it onto my stem, I'm only going to put glue on one side of the back of my leaf. Okay, so I'm going to put it on this side. It doesn't really matter whichever side you want to stick up, put the glue on the other side. So put glue on one side of the back of your leaf, and then stick it on to the bottom of your flower stem. Push it down to stick. Then it'll stick up over here and it looks really realistic. Okay, next we're going to add some grass down to the bottom of our picture because I think that makes it look really cool. So we're going to take the green that I have left over, you don't need a lot, and I'm just going to start by cutting a rectangle shape. I'm not even going to draw this, just cutting out a piece of paper that's kind of a rectangle. Okay, move the scraps out of the way. Now all I'm going to do is cut little triangles into my paper. So start at the top of your paper, cut down, come back to the top, cut down again, and you're cutting out a triangle shape. Okay, so once I cut it out, I have something that looks like that. So I'm going to do that all the way across, and it doesn't matter if you do it carefully because we're trying to make grass and it's kind of spiky, and some pieces are longer, so they can be all different triangle shapes, but all you're doing is cutting little triangles. Go down to the bottom. Some of them are going to be taller, some of them are skinnier. Okay, it doesn't matter. Cut triangles all along until you get to the end, however long that piece is going to be for yours. Okay, so this is my grass shape. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it down to the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to flip it over, put some glue only along the bottom of my grass. Okay, then once I stick it on, I'm going to stick it close to the bottom, press it. And I want my grass to kind of be funky and three-dimensional, so I'm going to kind of pull it up. You could use your pencil if you wanted to curl it a little bit. That'll make it look cool, or just use your finger to get underneath and fold it up so it kind of sticks up and looks like it's real grass, like when you're walking through it, it's poking your feet. So there, now it's sticking up a little bit. Okay, let me get these scraps out of the way. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the center of our flower, our daisy. So this is where you're gonna need something to trace around. I just have a glass. I'm gonna put it down here and trace around it quickly. And then I'm gonna cut it right out of my yellow paper, okay? Here we go, round, small cuts to get a really nice curved shape. And if you're using littler scissors, this will be better too. My big scissors could probably take bigger bites. All right, so here's the next step. I'm gonna glue this down, except for when I glue the center of my daisy on, I only want to glue the center of it. So I'm only putting glue in the middle of this circle because we're gonna stick our petals underneath it in just a minute. Okay, so only in the middle. And glue it on the top of your stem. Okay, now I've got one full flower over here, but these two need some petals. So we're gonna go ahead and cut out a whole bunch of petals at once. So how we're gonna do that is we are going to use a big piece of paper, or whatever size you have is fine, but we're gonna make an accordion. So what that means is we're gonna fold back and forth to create our petals all at once. So I'm gonna start at the top and I'm gonna fold down probably about the length of your fingers. So that's how wide this is, doesn't matter. Okay, then I'm gonna flip my paper over and I'm gonna fold back down on that same line. Okay, then I'm gonna flip it over again, fold back down on the same line, and then last time I'm gonna do that one more time and fold back down. So now I have, if I opened this, I would have an accordion. Okay, we're gonna keep it folded. Then I'm gonna draw some leaf shapes. I'm gonna be able to do a leaf here, or I'm sorry, petals. Petal here and a petal here, okay? So, really easy, almost just like the leaf shape. I'm gonna start at a point, I'm gonna come up, curve, and then do the same thing on the other side, come up and meet the point. And then I'm gonna do one more up here because I can get all these done at once, so it's really fast. Come back down and meet the bottom here. Okay, so as long as your scissors are sharp enough to go through them, all your petals out at once. So here I'm going to go around this shape, cutting all these petals out at one time. There's one side, cut the other side. Okay, there's one stack. Now I'm going to go ahead and just right away cut the other petals. Cutting one side. Flipping the paper, cutting up the other side. Now, if your scissors don't cut through all this, it's okay if you have to cut out petals one at a time or two at a time. It's not a big deal. Okay. Okay, there's my stack of petals. So now you can even do this at the same time too if your paper's not too thick. I'm going to fold these all in half just like we did with our leaves because I want that center of my flower. Then I'm going to fold this stack of petals in half, fold them up the center. Okay, now we're going to start gluing them onto the center of our flower. So this you're going to do one at a time. So I'm just going to take my flower, flip it, and I'm only going to put glue at the very bottom of my petal. Okay, then I'm going to stick it underneath the yellow circle. That's why we left that little edge around without glue. Okay, so glue the bottom of your petal and stick it underneath the center of your flower. Okay, you're just going to keep going around and around until you have lots of petals. Okay. So now here's where I get to start overlapping like that. So I'd probably want to cut 2 more petals to fill up this space. Okay, but once you get all that put together, this pink flower is all finished. So this is what it should look like when it's done. And you can see that I have all my petals here. They're overlapping. And then if you want to, you can kind of pull them up along the edge so they look a little bit more three-dimensional, like this. You could even color in the background on this, or you could maybe put some little critters or little creatures. A ladybug would look cute sitting on one of the flowers. I can't wait to see some of the ideas that you guys can come up with on your spring daisy flower project.